Bringing a new puppy home between 8 to 12 weeks and wondering where to start with training? I'm Jon, Pooch Mutt's expert trainer, and here are my essential skills and tips to set your pup up for success during this crucial stage. Between these ages, your puppy training is going to be focused on two areas. The first area is social skills within your home, basically setting your puppy into the rhythm and flow of your household. And the second area will be the foundation you build your puppy's obedience training on. Toilet training is one of the biggest things to get ticked off and sorted. Routine, and patience. Set phone alarms to create good toilet patterns. Take them out after eating, sleeping, and increased activity. Praise and add a word of command when they are in the act of toileting. They will quickly make the association with this word, and if your puppy understands what you want and knows reward will come from it, then you've cracked it. Important, don't tell a dog off for having an accident. It's your fault. Clean it up and look to preempt the next one. Humans love to buy affection. Feeding is a very maternal and paternal thing to do. Be careful, most fussy eaters are created in the first 2 weeks of being in their new home. Be disciplined and stick to the food and feeding routine the puppy had with the breeder. Don't be alarmed if your puppy is picky or doesn't eat in the first few days. This is entirely normal given the upheaval and change. Adding high value food or changing it will cause long-term lifestyle and training problems. Your pup, like all dogs, has an inbuilt drive to survive. Keep offering the food within the set routine, give them a good opportunity to eat it, then take it away. Treats are an addition to a healthy diet. Make sure your puppy has a healthy relationship with food before having too many treats. Socializing, puppy cuddles and play are the best, especially in the first few weeks. Enjoy this time, but do be mindful that this is part of a routine that involves downtime, alone time for your puppy. Your puppy will enjoy cuddles and play as much as you, but it is important they don't become over-dependent on you. So make sure they get used to being on their own for varying periods of time. This can be hard with a cute puppy potentially crying, but it is essential for avoiding separation anxiety. Make sure that physical interaction is on your terms. Mouthing is typical puppy behavior, but don't encourage it by being permissive. Puppies are popular with friends, family and children. It's important your pup develops relationships with them all. But make sure this is done in small groups and for short periods of time. This will stop the puppy from getting overtired or stimulated. But if your puppy is the centre of attention for everyone that visits your home, then they will grow up expecting and perhaps being overexcited by visiting guests. Ask your visitors and guests to ignore your puppy for a while after arriving. Then keep their interaction low-key and brief. This isn't going to make you popular, but it is going to help your puppy grow up stable, calm around guests and visitors. Puppies are small and having their feet on you isn't usually a big deal. In fact, most people encourage it. Remember, puppies grow up and what you allow now they will replicate at full size, so set your boundaries early. Nighttime routine. Routine is the key word here. Keep it as similar as possible in the first few weeks. Then your puppy knows what to expect and will settle quickly. Dogs take comfort in routine. Don't overstimulate your pup just before putting them to bed. Just make sure they've had plenty of mental and physical activity during the day. Take your dog to the toilet before bed. Watch to see them go. Then if they cry, you know it isn't because they need the toilet. Make sure their crate, bed or pen is in a quiet and low light area. Puppies, like babies, can cry when left alone. Learning to self-soothe is a massive life skill. Be strong and let them get through it. It will usually disappear in the first week or so. Don't sleep downstairs with your dog. Don't take your dog to bed with you. This might make you feel good, but the long-term problems that can arise far outweigh this. The second area that we need to focus on is laying the foundations for obedience type training. Puppy is obviously too young for formal training, but there are plenty of things that you can do to prep for that. Food. Your dog's relationship with it is a key part of training. Remember the advice at the start of this video. Clicker training. Get your dog used to the clicker. Clickers mark the exact moment a dog has done something we like or want, and a reward may follow. Training with food is a great way to bond with your dog, and you can do it a minimum 3 times a day at your dog's meal times. First thing your puppy needs to learn is to eat nicely from the hand. Some puppies can be quite mouthy or teethy taking food, so we need to teach them good manners first. This will make training with food enjoyable and save you from having to throw treats on the floor to save your hands from the land shark. Take a large handful of the puppy's food and close it in the palm of your hand. This will present a large scent pattern to your puppy, and he or she should engage with their nose and mouth. If he just sniffs and licks your hand, release bits of food, not all at once. Imagine your hand is a slow feeder. The food is released in small increments. Calmly, verbally praise the puppy. If your puppy naturally eats nicely, then you can move on to focus training. If you have a puppy that engages your hand with its teeth, trying to gnaw its way into your hand to get the food, use a very firm and sharp no command, at the same time moving the food out of reach. Focus training isn't just good fun, it's a way to teach your puppy to solve problems by focusing or engaging with you. It's also a good foundation for further training. Instead of just plonking their food down in a bowl, keep it to one side and use it to train. Use a handful rather than one piece of kibble at a time. A bowl full of kibble is going to take ages to use one at a time. Let your puppy sniff your hand and then take it slightly out of reach. The puppy is going to stare and maybe try to get to your hand, but the idea is that we frustrate the puppy until eventually they look or glance at us. When they do glance or look at us, we mark that behavior with an upbeat yes or click, if we want to use a clicker moving forward, at the same time rewarding with the food. A top tip when using food in training is not to use one bit of food for one action or behavior. This is very predictable, repetitive, and can become boring for a puppy. It will also take you a long time to use their food up. Instead, release random amounts of food for each reward. The puppy will try harder if there are jackpot rewards along the way. Keep repeating this game and teach your puppy that the solution to the problem is to look at you. Ultimately, this is also going to teach your puppy the impulse control to look away at a strong distraction towards you instead. Once you have a level of proficiency, you can mix the game up with some luring into positions that also includes focus training. Leash socialization. Develop a healthy association with the leash before your puppy is cleared by the vet to go for public walks. Cut down a lightweight leash so that it drags on the floor a little bit. Top tip, remove any handles so that it can't get stuck on anything. Put this on your puppy numerous times throughout the day for random time periods. You can positively associate the leash by clipping it on and off whilst pairing it with food reward. A good idea is to pair the training with a command like lead. This should reduce excitement and help develop positive vibes with the leash. The best training advice we can give at this age of the puppy is all relationship based. Make sure that rather than a free vending machine, your puppy sees you as a resource that they need to work around to gain the things they love in life.